Welcome back to Educator.com's Adobe Premiere Pro CS6 video training, and now we are in the in-depth part of the videos, which is the second 2/3. The first third should have you up and running and getting ready to edit video. This one, this in-depth part, is we go into more detail in using the program, and it will get you to where you can do about 90-95% of what you need to do. In this video, we're going to talk about expanding the workflow. And what that is you're going to be using a bunch of different programs along with Premiere to help you out with Premiere. Audition, After Effects, Photoshop, Encore, Illustrator, Dynamic Link, Bridge, Flash, SpeedGrade, Prelude, Media Encoder. And the way these work, these are all ancillary to Premiere, and they make your workflow a little bit easier. And this workflow for CS6, Premiere is your main program in CS6. And what that is, you have Prelude and Bridge. Prelude is a metadata logging program, and we have a whole video just on Prelude. And Bridge comes with every Adobe program, and it lets you do, I mainly use it for batch rename. Other than that, personally, I don't use Bridge, but I know other editors that do use Bridge. I don't normally use Prelude because a lot of the projects I have, I film them, I edit them, and I output them myself, and I don't have to pass it off to anybody else. And I try to be as economical as I possibly can in my video, just filming what I need and maybe a little bit more. I don't just turn the camera on and let it run for an hour if I'm trying to capture 2 minutes of tape. And I don't work on any huge full-length movies, so I don't normally use these two, although I will show you how to use Prelude in this video set, not this specific video. But after you get your assets into Premiere, you have these other programs that help you along. Adobe Illustrator will let you make vector graphics that you can use inside of Premiere. Photoshop, the same thing. I showed you using separate layers to create separate video tracks from a Photoshop file and even making a whole other sequence. And you can send things back and forth between these programs. Audition, you can send things back and forth between Audition to fix the sound. You have noisy video, you have a fan running, you have just something that you need to fix in the audio. You can send it out through Dynamic Link to Premiere, and from Premiere to Audition. And when you fix it in Audition, you go back into Premiere, it'll automatically be updated, which is nice with Dynamic Link. You don't have to worry about having to save the file and then reopen it and then save it after you fix it and reopen it again. You just send it through Dynamic Link, and whatever changes you make are automatically updated in the other program. It's the same thing with After Effects. If you want to create a new After Effects composition, you can do it straight from Premiere, and let me show you where those are located. You have Adobe Dynamic Link, you have Send to Encore, you can replace with After Effects composition, you have new After Effects composition, you import an After Effects composition, and then you can also send it to Adobe SpeedGrade, which we're about to talk about. But there are things that you can do that will let you fix it with other programs that are available through the Adobe Creative Suite. Now these are back and forth. and this is back and forth. And then you can also take it from here, and you noticed on that menu it says send to Adobe SpeedGrade, and Adobe Dynamic Link is send to and replace and all this, but there's a reason it says send to, is when it goes to SpeedGrade for color correction, normally that's at the end after you've edited all your video and done whatever effects and whatever else you want to do with it. Then you send it to SpeedGrade. You color correct it before you output it to one of these three outputs. And the three outputs are Encore, which lets you make DVDs, Blu-rays, websites, Flash websites. You can also send it directly to Flash for a Flash video, or you can send it to Adobe Media Encoder, which is what this logo is. And what that will do, you don't have to go through SpeedGrade, and I don't normally use SpeedGrade myself, but you can have it as an intermediate before you go to one of these. But I normally, after I've done my entire project in Premiere, I will send it to either Encore or to Adobe Media Encoder. I don't really use Flash a lot, and if I need a Flash website, I can use that in Encore. But this is your standard workflow using the entire suite. This doesn't include, say, making a DVD case, which you can also, you could have InDesign up here for the DVD case and any other printed material that you need to go with it. So if you're sending out to Encore, you're making a Blu-ray, you can do that. You can also create the case in InDesign, and you can use the same assets as you used for your Encore project. You can also use them in InDesign. This isn't an all-encompassing, and a lot of these overlap, and a lot of these you just won't use at all. But in a general rule, especially for professional projects, this is usually how it goes. They'll bring it in through Prelude, add metadata, pull it into Premiere. Somebody will work on the graphics in either Illustrator or Photoshop. Somebody else will work on motion graphics in After Effects. Another person will do audio, just audio, and they will be an expert in just audio. And then after you've fixed everything, you send it to the guy that does color correction. He'll work in SpeedGrade and do all of the color correction. And then he'll pass it off to either the hard copy people or the soft copy people. In the hard copy is actually make discs for DVD and Blu-ray, and then the soft copy people will either make Flash video or they'll encode it for, say, phones or YouTube or wherever they're going to put the video itself. So